Hello, Sagittarius, and welcome back to Deku Tarot and your mid-October 2020 reading. I'm shooting this on the day that Mercury goes retrograde in Scorpio, so forgive me if I am flubbing up my words or it sounds like I'm starting to talk like Yoda. You guys know that Mercury retrograde affects me in a very specific way. It's already been hitting in its shadow period. The past few days have been just so many technological problems, car problems, travel problems, timing issues. It's been such a mess for me. Let me know how it's been for you guys. And of course, as we enter this Mercury retrograde in Scorpio, especially if you live in America, it's pretty prominent and prevalent that we're going into this Mercury retrograde in Scorpio as we're going into the voting season, as we're, inching towards November 3rd, the election day. And I mean, I believe it's, again, that day is when it turns direct, which is just crazy. So this is going to be quite an interesting few weeks. Strap in, hold on to your butts, because here we go, The rest of 2020 is going to be a roller coaster. And it almost feels like as we've had this Mercury retrograde, that things have energy has kind of come to this standstill where we know that things are about to start happening in rapid succession. A lot of things are going to be going on, and it's almost like take a minute for these couple days to breathe, especially as we get towards that Scorpio new moon, which is going to be a real breakthrough moment, and I think especially so for you guys. So I'm just going to go ahead and start talking about the channeled messages that I'm getting as we shuffle here. And we're using the Transformational Tarot if you guys are interested. It's a very cool deck. It's like art collage style. So let's get into this. Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. And do remember, guys, to check out your other placements. They might resonate better, like your Sun, your Moon, your Rising, your Venus, your Mars, your Mercury, or whatever you have a stellium in if you have one. Check them out because they might resonate better or have important messages for you as well. And if you want to book a reading, guys, all that info is always right below this video in the description box. And I am doing a special right now for Samhain for 30-minute and 1-hour readings. So definitely take note of that. Take advantage of it. So Sagittarius. Oh, and here we go. Wow. You guys have become aware of it feels like a very deep injustice, and yet also something that has plagued you with confusion, maybe a person or a situation that you didn't really know which way about. We couldn't make a decision heads or tails about this person, but now it feels quite prevalent and quite prominent here. Ooh, 2 sevens. That they're not good for us, that they've hurt us in some way. And again, this feels like you guys are having this there's a lot of deep emotion immediately when I stepped into your reading. And it really, really wanted to use this deck as well, your higher self here. I'm not surprised to see 2 sevens out. This feels like a very difficult time, and you're really pushed up against it. We haven't been able to make heads or tails of something, and it's almost like you've waited too long on it. Maybe we didn't want to decide. Maybe we didn't want to see the truth, but it's really hard to ignore that a great deal of conflict has officially erupted from this situation, and from our inability to see it before it happened. Maybe there was warnings, maybe there was inklings, or again, something that told you something was going to happen with this person or situation, but it feels very much like you've been stabbed in the back. Like you gave somebody the benefit of the doubt and they have absolutely just led you to defeat about that. You've been proven 100% wrong, and you're like, I can't believe that I judged this character, this situation so poorly. Ooh, and we get, oh my God, another 7. So defending your own personal stance and role in this furiously is where you find yourself right now. As we can see, there's like a resume or a paper here that says resume, talent, completion. You're up against it. And again, your character is being questioned. This whole situation has put you in a spotlight, or has made you feel put in a spotlight. And you're like, I have to defend myself. It's like this woman up against this group of all these people staring at her, these, bearded men. And meanwhile, these two women here are trying to defend her and say, don't like put her to death. Like, she's on judgment. She's on trial for something. And that's what this feels like. This is a moment of judgment, of trial, and of being like, wow, you almost just really took me out there. I no longer have faith and trust in you. I fear you because of what you've proven to me about yourself. And again, your fury is hot and consuming, but your ability to stay connected to who you are and your values is essential. Ooh, as you overcome this obstacle. This is no picnic, obviously, when the devil shows up reversed there. Feels highly competitive. And the other side definitely is in a refusal to back down. And that's quite obvious here. But your anger has boiled over. Your boundaries have been crossed. And your ability to trust in this, at this point, it's non-existent. The Scorpio new moon sees you breaking this detrimental and toxic bondage. Separating yourself from this entirely. Plunging you into a dark night of the soul, which is very prevalent here in the Five of Coins, which shout out to my Hermetic, not my Hermetic, wrong deck. I always want to call it the Hermetic Tarot because there's a hermit on it. Why can't I say the word? Hieronymus Bosch deck here, because he is a main feature on it and literally my absolute favorite version of the Hermit. And there he is again. It's time to go into prayer mode, hermit mode. Take a step back and realize that, yes, this is a dark night of the soul, but you're passing through this tunnel to reach the light on the other side. This has been a shock and awe situation, and I knew it was going to be that way because when I was trying to figure out what deck you guys are resonating with before this reading, I picked up my classic deck here, my Rider-Waite deck, and the Tower came out, and I was like, but it was like, not me, I'm not talking about this story, you find a different deck to do it. And I was like, okay, I see that tensions are high, and when I stepped into your energy, it feels red hot, boiling. There's just such a high, it's like high heart rates, moments where you need to calm yourself down or find peace, because it's not healthy for you to be feeling all of this energy, because it's so exhausting. It's emotionally exhausting, mentally exhausting. I can't even believe this is happening to me kind of energy. Ooh. Completely ungrounded, and it feels like a very selfish moment for whoever is involved. And I want to say, like I say to all my signs when things like this come up, make sure you're, again, staying connected to who you are. To remembering that taking the high road might be less satisfying in the moment, but taking responsibility and the high road in terms of our actions is better and allows you to close the situation with grace and ease. And I'm not sure how that wanted to come out. It came up spinning. And I'm going to take it that way. You can refuse to close out this situation. Hold on to this grudge. Stay angry. Stay frustrated. Stay petty. And hold on to a grudge like the King of Pentacles reverse or the King of Coins reverse would do. Right? I'm not 100% sure. But I did go to art school. And I also really loved history. But I think this might actually be a painting of Henry VIII. And if it is, what an interesting card. What an interesting guy to have on the King of Coins. As you can see, that Libran or Venusian justice right there. Very balanced, all about the money, all about what makes us feel comfortable. But when that becomes reversed, it becomes greedy, selfish, lazy, angry, holding a grudge to a point where it consumes you in an unhealthy physical way, indulging too much. And I have to say, the lust, the greed, the indulgence, and the inability to see when we are actually wrong are all the negative qualities, I would say, towards Henry VIII, which is why I find that interesting. But again, if I'm wrong about that, I'm wrong about that. It's just, I know that there's a painting where he kind of looks like that and he's younger and he's got this robe on. I might be wrong though. Somebody who knows art history, who knows that painting, please let me know as I drop this. Here we have death coming out. Wow. What a couple of cards to have together, right? Because when you get the world and death together, you have to know, and again, this feels like it's right around and after that Scorpio full moon, and as we enter Scorpio season, you're going to find you're gonna see a chance here, really, to either, and again, that's another card that came out with this Rider-Waite deck, was that Two of Swords as well, when I got that Tower, and it's how you move forward from this. Again, choosing to hold on to it, choosing to continue to fight this rather than cut off, just cut it all off, go cold, block this person, block this situation, walk away from it. Walk away from it without engaging in the battle that they so desperately want from you, because they desperately want a battle from you. That's very, very clear here. But you have gained insight and wisdom, and you're ready to complete this important cycle. This is a time of celebration as you release this and enter into a new phase that no longer is, weighed down by this very toxic energy, by this fight. You have to be able to walk away from it. It feels almost, I don't want to say karmic, but it almost feels like a very karmic situation here. Very, very interesting, and I just want to see all your cards here. I'm not sure if I want to pull that many more out, honestly. That's why I'm kind of taking a breather and just letting all these beautiful images speak to me, because there's so much to be gained just from the cards we have on the table here. Your ability to fight, to stand up and fight for yourself, to, again, defend your personal role and your actions is here. But I want to say, don't act like a saint if you've been a little bit of a sinner. If there have been things that are wrong and they're calling you after that, say, yeah, maybe you're right about this, but I don't fucking deserve this, right? I sure as hell don't deserve that. It's like, I punched you this one time when we were kids, so now this person comes back 20 years later, burns down your house, and, kills your family. It's like, nope, that's not very equal. That's not appropriate, and that's not normal, right? And as I look at the clock, actually, for a second here, I was just drawn to look at it, and it was 11:11. Know that you are guided, that the angels are with you right now, that they're helping you to get to this point, because all of this is very distracting. And as a Sagittarius, a fire sign, oh boy, would you love to let them have it. Oh boy, would you love to get down and dirty. Would you love to get down in the mud with them and just choke them out. You know what I mean? But there's transformational spiritual evolution that begs you to go towards that. Remember that you are Sagittarius. You are about learning, about growing, transforming for the better, for the future. Remember that your card Temperance is all about, transforming and bringing things into balance, knowing your rights, your wrongs, and doing what's best for the situation here. Relying on your knowledge and being open-minded, open-hearted to knowledge and growth, spiritual growth. The inevitability that change is here, or really the inevitability of change itself is here. This is a natural conclusion to a very stagnant situation, something that's been very toxic, and it's time to let it go. We have to cut this down so that regrowth can occur. We have to get it down to those bare bones and really look at our heart, really look at what is driving us, really look at ourselves here. And that will help us close this out. So those are some big messages there. If anything else that wants to come through, but this is a very empowering month for you. And as you enter Scorpio season, like most, and I want to say this, like I'm gonna probably mention in most of my videos, October always feels like the new year to me. Especially October 31st, so when it feels like that is the moment when things, we're at this is kind of like January, or December into January here in October. And I just always feel that the Scorpio new moon to that full moon at the end of the month, it's going to be a new beginning. It's going to be a real game changer for a lot of people. It's going to reinvigorate your spirit, make you interested, make you want to speak, make you want to go for something new, drive new energies towards new passions. It's almost like, again, starting afresh. There you are. Starting out as the Page of Wands there. The Page of Wands has energy and an idea, and it's new, and it's ready to throw it at something else, something it's interested in, something it wants to move away. Again, moving away from this, you're going to have to find something new to be interested in. Power, empowerment, creative ideas. You're highly creative this season. Take this energy, and especially if you're a creative person, drive it into something that you can create and that can help you release these things. Writing is big for you as well this month. You have a lot of support of those around you right now. So speak to those that love you, your partners, your family, your close friends, your found family, because they're very much here for you. And there's a real peace when you start talking with them, when you speak with them about what's going on, about how to move forward, about what to do. Don't let yourself stagnate and think too much on all of this. Keep yourself busy. And if you need to cut a cord, look up some cord cutting rituals in this situation, because this drains on you so deeply. You don't want to find yourself in this position all month, right? That's not who you are. Let's put this over here. Five of Cups is there. I want to say, is that Picasso? I'm not sure. Or maybe it's not. Is it? It looks like Van Gogh or Picasso or something like that, but I'm not sure. Anyways, I get really excited by this deck because there's so much art in it, obviously. I love it. But Five of Cups, again, we're focused so much on the wallowing, on the despair, that we can't even see the two cups that are upright. And of course, this doesn't really feature in the normal sense of those 5 cups. But as you can see what's right next to those 4 of Wands, there's 2 people there. You have loved ones, you have friends, you have people that genuinely care for you, are here for you, and know that you're not in the wrong here. You might feel you've lost something, somebody, a group, and their faith, their trust, and how they see you might bother you now. But you have to not let that bother you. Walk away from it and know that you were right, know that you were fine, and that you didn't have to prove that to any of those people. Because people you have to prove that to aren't really worth it in the first place. You shouldn't care so much about what they think of you. If you have to prove your own worth and respect, or ask for respect from them, you have to beg for respect, which obviously is an energy in this reading. You're not going to be on board with that. The King of Wands shows a lot of fire. Again, this is the card that you want to come up about yourself. This is where we're oh my God. Mercury retrograde, what we're stepping towards here. Empowered, fiery, a leader. I don't care what anybody else thinks of me. I stepped up and I showed everybody that I believe in myself, that that I'm not just going to step down just because somebody tries to come at me, stab me in the back, do all these things, manipulate me, and try to manipulate me into destroying my own, God, I'm having a hard time Englishing. Oh, what is the word? My own reputation. That's the word, reputation. I was like, reputation, what's the word? But you're going to go, in contrast to that, you prove exactly who you are by not playing those games, by not doing that and saying, yeah, if that's what you really think I am, I don't really care because this is obviously what I'm doing and I don't really give a shit what you think. There's a lot of empowered leadership energy there when you get that King of Wands, and I really, really love that coming up for you guys. Especially, you know, when we've seen that Page of Wands. So you know that whatever, you know, you might feel like a baby. You might feel immature at the end of all this. And as you begin again, as you cut this out, you might feel like, oh my God, I've gone back to square one again. I feel like a child. I feel like, you know, this situation happened years ago or months ago. And I thought I was over this and we were done with these things happening. I never thought this would happen again. And here we are. But you know what? You've just proven that now you can get through this a lot stronger, a lot better, a lot more courageous, adventurous. And again, you're proving that you have charm, you have wit. You know what? The adventure is just part of it. This was a difficult and trying time, but it was also an adventure. Treat it like that romanticism that the King of Wands has. He's full of creative ideas and optimistic energy. And so are you. Excuse me, guys. I don't know what just happened there. Oh my god. It's like such an intense tickling that I feel like the next card that's going to come out is going to be intense. Focusing a little bit on love here, just to see if anything extra wants to come out about it. And yet, if this is a love situation, you already know what's going on here. Right? Oh, what's coming out? And I don't know if it wants to come out reverse or upright, so I'm going to put it back in, honestly, because that one's a... We'll see. If you want to come out again, you got to choose a side here. Oh, Ace of Swords. Nine of Swords. Oof, okay. There's a lot of fear and worry, guilt, shame. And again, I think it has a lot, that maybe for some of you and for a lot of you, this whole situation is about a love life situation. Could have been about somebody coming back and you thought it was different and they're not. Or you trusted this person in a way that you haven't trusted in a long time. But Nine of Swords is here to remind you that what you fear, what you dream, what has already, you know, the worst that has happened has already happened. And you're so focused on that happening again that you might decide to believe that rather than the fact that you could be loved. You can be open to love. What has happened, but you've got to find grounding and that Venusian energy there, the Queen of Coins. The abundance, the known abundance. I know that love will come back. I know that things are going to be okay. Get out of your head and into reality, into nature, into spending actual time with people. Again, this is a challenge. But, this is also strength. Take on this challenge with this grounded, wonderful energy and don't let these fears rule you. The Ace of Swords is there to say that you can have victory, but you have to overcome that Nine of Swords. And within your mind, you have to reset your mind here. If you find yourself in this position, if you find yourself lamenting, worrying in this Five of Cups, Nine of Swords state, you have got to find that grounding. You've got to find maybe even that friend, that earth sign friend that really helps ground you and remind you of how loved and amazing you are. Again, get out into nature. Treat yourself physically very kindly. Give yourself love through good food, through treating yourself, taking care of yourself physically. These are all really important things that are going to help you here. And the challenge, which is interesting, it's interesting that it's a Chariot, but I mean, I guess that's what it would be if it's 7. I almost wanted to call it strength there, but very interesting. Again, this is a time of challenge, though. As you can see, he's skateboarding and this is a very different art style. And then we got all these old-timey religious icons back here. So he's kind of rebelling. He's doing his own thing. It's a time of challenge. Again, victory over obstacles. Challenging authority and conformity and going your own way and not caring about these things. So maybe for a lot of you, this is fights with family or people that you felt very ingrained with and you just can't do it anymore. It's like, this is taking too much from me. I'm fighting you about these things and about your values versus mine. It's not going to work anymore. It's too exhausting for me. I'm not playing this game anymore. I'm putting the cards down. And you know what? If you want to rant, you can send yourself in circles ranting. It's that kind of situation where you're just done. All right, well then let them go and chase their own tail like a dog. And that's really what I have to say about that. But again, there's a lot of really beautiful overcoming here. Balancing your creative and logical, the physical and spiritual is what will help you this month. You'll have to have strong will and self-discipline and inner direction here for progress. And it's still there, even if things feel chaotic, upsetting, broken right now. Okay, Sagittarius? So in all ways, and especially again in love, if this is coming up to you as more of a love reading. And of course, guys, if you do want to book a private reading, all my information is below in the description box. And I am doing, again, a special with 30-minute and 1-hour reading, so check that out. We're going to use the Stacey DeMarco Halloween Oracle now to kind of sum this up here with an Oracle card. I do feel that Love is also kind. I mean, even if you're in a relationship, everything is very much a challenge for you guys this month. And it's really, again, about how you adapt and deal with this. And I think a lot of us, again, so this has come up in actually all the readings that I've done, is adaptability, ability to change, ability to not totally conform to one path, one way, one ideology, but to have an open mind and to be fluid. Okay? That will help everybody this month. Ooh, invisibility, authenticity is what comes up. So we're going to take a peek at that one. And again, it's all about being authentic. And I do feel like that for a lot of you, it's been really difficult for one reason or another to be authentic. You haven't been able to be. And this is just kind of like a breaking moment. It feels the same thing again. This is like this forced ability, this forced conformity that comes at you. And you guys just keep pushing up against it. Like, no, this is who I am. These are my ideals. And I am not. And it's going to be a challenge. To be like, this is who I am, and I don't really care. And if you have such a problem with it, you know, whatever, that's your problem, but it's not mine. But it's not mine. And it's time to be authentic to who you are and not to everybody else to make everybody else feel comfortable. But let's read what the card actually says here in the book. I'm just going off what I'm getting from it. And again, I just love this deck. So, the concept of invisibility is a double-edged sword. Whilst it is a powerful tool to be able to gain information oh my god, English, Helen. Whilst it is a powerful tool to be able to gain information or to assist whilst no one sees, individuals using it are privy to information that may not be meant for them, and it may be taken out of context or unethically. It is a power of manipulation easily abused. The idea of hiding away and not being seen is also a big part of the dark side of this concept. We are all born to shine our light out into the world and to take our roles. Hiding our talents, not expressing our true selves, stealing others' ideas or work, and being someone else rather than your authentic self are all aspects to consider should this card appear in your reading. Damn, that was a slap at the end there. All right, I love you guys so much. Do make sure to subscribe. Do make sure to share. I love reading your comments so much. And if you haven't, do join me over on Instagram at Deku Tarot. And have a wonderful and blessed rest of the month, guys. Happy October, my favorite month. Happy Samhain. And again, yeah, keep an eye out over on my Instagram. Doing some fun Samhain stuff over there. Anyways, I love you guys so much. Namaste.